Morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 190 in the best of the Gospel of John. Today's going to be about 7 stories that I want you to tell me. 7 stories that you tell me that you understand John. All right. The first one is about the Word. So to love Jesus is to keep His Word. Jesus says in John 14:23, "If anyone loves me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him." So you should be able to demonstrate that you prioritize or memorize or organize or treasurize His Word. Yes, I made that up. So tell me an ongoing habit that you have enacted to elevate the value of His Word in your life. That's question number one. Question number two is, if God makes His home with those who are happy to see them, then show me the enthusiasm for the Lord that you have in a way when you are inconvenienced or when you are tired, using those two criteria. So show me your enthusiasm for the Lord when you're tired or inconvenienced. That's number two. Number three is, there's something about just showing up, but this is the relationship that He shows up to you as well. So the last two questions are about you showing up to God. This question is about God showing up to you. Jesus says in John 14, "He who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and manifest myself to him. If anyone loves me, he will keep my word. I and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him." One of my favorite verses from John. That's John 14:23. All right, so a mark of relationship with God is not only do you show up to the relationship, but He shows up to the relationship. So He shows up, He loves up, He clears up, He brings stuff to our attention. So here's the question. Question number three. Tell me one thing that Jesus has made known, made visible, or made clear to you. This is here again. Question number four is about, I'm again stealing this from Job, which is, Job says to the Lord, "Behold, I am of small account. What shall I answer you? I lay my hand upon my mouth." So none of these stories, none of these encounters with the Lord should result in our self-pride, saying, "Hey, I'm so spiritual. I'm more blessed than that guy." So here's the question for question number four is, tell me a story about you putting your hand over your mouth. Rather than putting yourself forward in some way, rather than putting your hand up, putting your hand and saying, "Look at me," rather than saying, "Look at me," you say, "Woe is me." So tell me a story where you have reacted in that way. All right, question number five. So the fruitful question in John chapter 15 is like a piece of fruit that's on a branch that's connected to the vine. And we all say, hey, we want the fruits of a relationship. We want to encounter the person of God. We want to know Him. We want to please Him. We want to participate in effective ministry. We want to be in fellowship on the right team of God. All good, all these rainbows kind of things. Who wouldn't want to sign up for that? So attachment to the vine is the beginning, and then abiding is the continual, observable efforts of relationship building with God. So abiding is important, and abiding isn't for sissies. So abiding isn't, I think of the analogy of a wedding versus a marriage. So abiding isn't getting married. Abiding is the activities of staying married. So from His side, note that we abide with Him and He abides with us. His side, He helps. He attaches to us. He came to get us, and we have an excellent partner in the relationship. The question is what's from our side. So don't be surprised by the efforts of relational building. So abiding is this continual, observable efforts of relationship building with God. So here's question number five, is tell me a story about an effort that you exerted to maintain or enhance your relationship with God. Tell me about an effort of maintaining. That's question number five. All right, let's talk about question number six. So we mentioned fruitfulness in the abiding. So you have to attach, you have to abide, you have to have the attention of the Lord, and asking. All those things added together equals fruitfulness. Well, we have to talk about pruning. So, we want to charge forward towards pruning. This is John 15:2. Every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. So there's this huge humility with regarding pruning. Now, what we find out from John chapter 15 is that pruning is a priority of the gardener of God, regular or at least occasional part of Christianity for each of us. So the most comforting thing is that it's the Lord with the loppers. He prunes, he's involved, he cares. And pruning is the language, it's a love language of God. It's hard to even say it. So that's from God's side. And one of my love language is to say to the Lord is, Lord, if there is some bad thing in me, something that needs to be pruned, please get it out of there. So I'm a willing prunee. So the Lord can be pleased with a person who is pleased to be pruned. So here's the question. This is question 6, question that you understand, John. Tell me a story about how God pruned you and you received it. Or tell me a story about your readiness to be pruned by the loppers of the good gardener. All right, final question. And this is going to be about prayer. In John 15, it says, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. So, let's think about prayer. What would you ask for if you knew that your prayers would not fail? Or who would you ask for? Who would you ask that the Lord would rescue? Who would you ask for if you knew that your prayers wouldn't fail? A person, a situation, a moral choice, that his kingdom would come, something like that? So tell me a story about your prayer this week. And here's how I want to ask this question. If all the prayers that you prayed this week came true, how would the world be different? All right, so 7 stories today. I don't have enough fingers. Seven stories today. First one is about the word. Second one is about your enthusiasm when inconvenienced. Third is about manifestation, the Lord showing you something. Fourth is a response of humility rather than pride. Fifth, a question about abiding in difficulty. Sixth, about pruning when it hurts. And then 7th, about prayer. You answer those 7 questions to me, and that means that you have understand the import of John. Thanks for listening.